I already looked it up on this beach, and there is a toxic level with butter clams and varnish clams. Everything else is okay. So I'm not going for those, but I will be doing some foraging for seafood. Let's see what we find on an incoming low tide. So in my foraging, I don't think I'm going to be digging any clams. It's just because most of what I'll try and go after would be butter clams, and the native little necks, you got to dig and you'll run into them as you're digging other things. So it's an incoming tide, and why I have you here, I just wanted to sneak a peek under here. There's a little red rock crab under there. I'm going to pull him out. And we'll see what he is together. Okay, I'm going to put him back. But I didn't know what size he was. In the state of Washington, you'll see right here 5 inches. And he's 5.5 roughly, almost. So I'm not keeping him. I'm keeping anything 5 3/4 or bigger. So this guy is going to go back under that rock. So under this rock, I'll get it out first, and then I'll show you. It's an oyster, and I will be shucking it for part of my 18. And there is another oyster right there at the tip of the shovel. I'm not going to get it. I'm going to try and get the other one. So I'll get back to you when I pull it out. There it is. And I'll get my shucking tool and a Ziploc bag out. Again, I forgot my knee pads. It's helpful to have knee pads when doing this, because these rocks are covered in barnacles. So right here, like so, I'll just shuck her up and make that my first foraged item, which is an oyster. Just a native rock oyster, I believe they're called, but don't quote me on that. I do not know exactly what species of oysters this is. They do just grow off the rocks here, and you're supposed to shuck all oysters and leave the shell right where you found them. There it is. It's another one right over there. They have to be, I believe, 2.5 inches or bigger. I definitely won't get them smaller than that. I'm not after shooter oysters. These have to be cooked entirely in their entirety anyway. So there we go. It's a toughie. One-handed grabber. There it is. That's 2. When they're flat to the rocks like this, you don't get a lot of meat. Even though the shell is big, it's not too much fare. So anyway, right down here, oyster shell, sea anemone right here. There's another sea anemone right there. Thought I'd show you those. Ooh, there's a bigger rock oyster. I don't have to show you shucking all these, but there's one here, there's one here, so that's cool. I have 5 in the bag. I have 6, 7, and over there number 8. Well, I have my 8 oysters, and while I was kneeling down to get the 8th oyster, right under here was a squirt. That there's a horse clam. I'm gonna go after a horse clam. So I'm not gonna bore you with the details. I'm just gonna get going on it. If I can get him, I'll show you the beginning and the end. It's gonna be really rocky ground though. So yeah, really rocky ground. Now I got the hole dug out. I'm going to show you some clams that come up with digging the holes. And I'll show you what they are. Here's a butter clam. We cannot keep the butter clam. Biotoxin hotline says not to. And this is a native little neck. Now, can I keep this guy? I've got my clam measure in here. At least I thought I did. Huh. We'll see it. Well, it's supposed to be 1.5 inches. And he's over 1.5 inches with the measure here, so I'm good. I did have a clam ring. I don't know if I shoved it in a pocket or put it aside in the truck. I guess I put it aside in the truck. Okay, I'll get back to you on this horse clam. Well, it didn't take too long. I found him. He's not that big, but again, I'm foraging for seafood. So, and I'll show you some other things, tide pool stuff along the way. I'm gonna go look under that big rock pretty soon to see what's under there. Maybe a crab. As I'm turning up dirt, looking for these native little neck, I have myself a baby sand dollar. It is alive. It's fully fuzzy. So I seen a few of them, forgot to film them. Way back in there I have another crab, and I'm not going to go after him because he is deep in there. There's another one over there too, and he's smaller. There are oysters under there though, so I'll see if I can get some out. Hey, I just pulled myself out a giant sandworm, I guess they're called, piling worm. But anyway, that's good fish bait. I'm gonna go fishing a little later too. I might make a video of that. This is my 10th oyster right now. Oh yeah. Tenth oyster, 8 oysters to go. That's a, no, I'm not showing you my shucking capability here. Part of the oyster came off with the rock there, so the shell, I mean, it didn't stay with the rock. And number 10 in the bag. Digging a crab out. Yeah, he's still too small. I know this is upside down. That's better. Anyway, the frame was upside down when I was digging him out. He's a little small. Well, I'm at 17 oysters, and all I need to do is find that big one. I found a few big ones. Oh, here's a crab. What if he's alive? No, he's dead. Small oysters under there. Right, so one more oyster to go, and then I can probably play around a little more, so I'm not having to worry about looking for oysters. I can look under rocks and show you things that are here. Here's another crab. I'd rather say they're not high and dry because they're alive. No, he's alive. He's a kicking, but tide's coming in, so he'll be fine. I was wondering maybe he got kicked out of a hole because there was a different crab in there, but I'm not sure. Well, as I was talking to you looking for the oyster, and I was pointing out that live crab, I come all the way, I go down there and then I turn around and come all the way back here, and here he is. He's big enough. He's enough for my 18th. Just pop him off the rock. And then, sorry if I didn't get that on film. Anyway, sometimes when you pop these, the muss will tear away from the rock like that one. Sometimes it tears in half, so I like these that pop off. That's 18. Woohoo! I got a limit. Very small. Or is he? Yeah, I spy a crab. I'm going to take him to the bucket and see if he measures up. On second thought, I really don't like to keep the crab that have the black marked black under them, little blotches and spots. He's getting close to molting, so he gets a free ride back under the rock. He's pissed off. Now that I've got my limit, there's a big oyster. I'm going to find lots of big oysters now that I have my limit. It always works out that way. Bigger than some that I kept. So when you see the sand all pushed out like this, that means a crab has gone in there and burrowed it out and pushed it outward. We'll see if he's under there. I don't know if I can lift this rock up. No, so I don't want to budge it. Just take a good deep peek. Well, no, that's a rock. Do see a big oyster right there though. Buried in the sand. Okay, the crab moved out. When I was a kid, I used to do this with my brothers and sisters. We just flip the rock over and see what lives underneath. And all the baby crab go running. Anyway, set it down softly. Careful not to smash them. And move on. Sometimes you see little eels in these little rock pools under the rocks. Yep, there they are. They're going on the back side. Okay, setting her down. It's not a lot here to point out or find. There's sea anemones, seaweed, rocks, salt water. Anyway, I'm gonna look and see if I can find another horse clam and then get back to you. Extracting a rock 101. He's in there. Nice, small though. Putting him back. Yep, here he goes. Trying to show you just extracting another crab. They do burrow themselves in there pretty good. Well, he's a little bigger. I'm going to clean him off for a second here and bring him back to you. Yeah, see, he's got dark spots on him. These crab here seem to be dirty. They're about ready to molt. And again, he's a keeper, but he's not the size I like to keep. So, let's go back in the hole. There he is. Anyway, I'm looking for that elusive other horse clam. And they just don't grow well in these rocks. If they're here, they're hard to find. Plus, there's the western softshell clam that I find up in here, and they're really tiny. So I guess that'll wrap it up for this foraging adventure. I'm going to add maybe getting some bait for fishing, or I'll add that to the fishing video. Regardless, I do have that nice big long worm in there. So if you like this video, press like. If you want to see more of my types of videos, hit that notification bell. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'm asking, please subscribe. It goes a long ways to help me make more videos. Once again, thank you for watching.